cancer, and Sam is honouring this game to him. He's got a little message on his shoes, and our thoughts are with Jenny, Shane, the entire trolling family for what they're going through right now.
Very well said. Hyunjung Lee is into the game with immediate impact, and it's back to 10. They've scored the last couple of buckets.
That's correct, and Drew, getting out to this type of start from Illawarra, I mean, you're playing with a lot of fire. Speaking of which, Ariel Morty says,
the guy pulling his way to the basket.
well, I think he got a similar play called against JLA in game 2 on the baseline. What, 2? Maybe not as much contact and intent as the JLA move, but that probably warranted something. Well, I've been watching the Ian Clark-Tyler Harvey matchup, and Clark is really embracing it literally and doing a good job of slowing Harvey up away from the ball. Now, if I was Harvey, I'm going to the referees and being really firm and letting them know, watch me the next time I'm away from the ball. Watch me. Drew, you were great at doing that.
Well, you got to let him know, but it's the similar type of treatment down the other end.
Still 4 minutes to play in this first quarter. Melbourne set to put a big number on the board in the opening term as Ian Clark throws that to the coach. Dino's still got handles.
I don't think he's taking that as a compliment right now, Jack.
No, he just gave me a look that said, I didn't want that. Lee off target, kept alive by Peatling. Illawarra, such a strong second chance points team. Robinson wide open, must shoot, and knocks it down.
And that's the approach he must take. That's the correct mindset. And look, Drewy, it's back to an 8-point game.
It is, and he was reluctant. He was a reluctant perimeter shooter in game 2. That time there was a lot of hesitation.
Travel.
Clark swings to Dellavedova. Extra pass for Illy. That's short. Hook Porty just wants that ball. Shot clock down to 7. Here's Clark on the move. He drives and like silk lays it up.
It's really physical in there in the lane. The bigs are doing a lot of shoving and pushing. It'll be interesting how the refs handle this going forward. Ooh.
Double-digit lead for Melbourne. Illy downhill, off the glass. They have 27 points and there's still 2.5 minutes left in the term.
And it's relentless. Every single possession, they are flying in waves. All 5 guys are running the floor. Tough to guard, enormous pressure. But there is an early encouraging sign for the Illawarra Hawks when Robinson knocking down his second.
Well, Drew, they're getting hit in the chin hard, but they won't fall down. They're staying alive, continuing just to be pesky. They got to get some stops up. This is crazy.
It's tentative, but full credit to Melbourne United. 12 and 17. They've been white hot.
Robinson fell over. He thought he was fouled. 3-on-2 up ahead. This feed from Peatling. Bowling walks the tightrope right in front of the official, who says, keep going, boys. And then good hands from Bowen.
They're mixing it up. They're showing a 2-3 zone, but I don't know whether it's the number of passes. It does seem to fan out into a man-to-man coverage.
His hands from Hickey back down on the floor with 2 fouls, but here's an example of the energy that he brings. On the cut of Lee. And Clark called for a little push in the back.
And it looked like a goal team too.
Push. 2.
It's a tough one. It'll be easy to see it on the replay, but good action. The penetration. Clark just on the high side. And that's a good block.
Still going up.
Yeah.
Hadn't reached his apex yet. Good block. But going back to Dave O'Hickey, he gets credit with his energy and his potential as a defender, but Illawarra are a significantly better offensive team when he's in the game. Individual offensive rating of 125. Outstanding.
That's off the charts, that sort of number.
For those out there that aren't around the advanced metrics, so 125 is elite.
Last minute of the first quarter at John Cain Arena. Game 3 of the playoff series. The winner will go through to play either Melbourne, Perth or Tasmania in the championship series.
It's just for Sam Froling, where you don't go into scoreboard deficit because Froling's on the bench.
What young talent, originally out of South Australia. Robinson for his third three of the quarter. Justin Robinson.
Amazing how he could have been so tentative, Andrew, just 3 days ago at home.
Yeah, well, he was 3 of 13 here in game 1. And I think that knocked his confidence around a little bit, but this has been a very high-quality finish for the Illawarra Hawks, and margin's back to 6.
I told you a couple of minutes ago. I don't know how they're in the game.
It was as high as 13. Illy with the last shot of the quarter. The final possession of the first half belongs with the Hawks. Multiple times they've been down double digits, and they continue to fight.
This is the play they ran.
The trend in Illawarra, they've lost the second half in their last 8 away games this season. You're going to have to come up big in this second half. Harvey doesn't get that to go. He's 0 of 3 for the night. Golding inside for Travers. Timeout Illawarra.
Badly do you want it? And is it just getting too hard?
9-0 run to start the third for the home team. Justin Tatum said it's all about the next 2 minutes.
Come out after half-time break, he wouldn't be instilled with great confidence that there's that level of determination that's needed to pick him up and extend the defense.
Part of that, you wonder, is what we're talking about in the second quarter, the amount of minutes that the stars of this series have played for the likes of Froling and for Harvey and for Gary Clark, whether it is starting to catch up with them.
In particular, Sam Froling, he's carried a lot of the burden. And he probably needs a touch on the offensive end. He had his shot blocked early, so they got to keep trying to get him easy looks inside.
Golden throws that away. He's deep from Hwan Jung Lee. A little win at the defensive end for Illawarra. They're after more ends at this end of the floor. As requested, down to Froling. He's fouled.
We saw in the first quarter they got off to that great start. They made a change at about the 5-minute mark, and it gave an opening for the Illawarra Hawks to come back in.
Oh my,
And a 4-point play will help their cause.
Hawks run a nice set for Jung Lee. Comes off that weak side. That's in rhythm, Drew. Ball's well delivered. Clark gets him on the shooting hand. And one opportunity. 4 gets you back into the game quick, Jack.
Easiest way to play catch-up. Young Lee, only 2 points on Sunday in 18 minutes. Hit 12 in game 1. So we're back within single figures again. And at some stage in all 3 quarters so far, we're having this conversation with the Hawks again, where they've been down double digits. And they just accumulate, find ways to hang around.
They manufacture comebacks. And they get a few stops. They get out on the break. Illy, then they're
Potential foul.
Wow. That's my first on the forearm.
65-54 at John Cain Arena. Up next, we take you to Perth for the Wildcats and the Jack Jumpers. And by the as we finish up here, you can get all of that information, all the stats, everything you need to know to prepare for the championship series, of course, Ruck, at the NBL app, nbl.com.au/app. That's where it's all at.
Yeah, I like to keep that app open while I'm watching the game, Andrew. I don't know how you get down at home. You probably got the laptop right in front of you.
As you can see from all these printouts, I'm a little old school.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite as efficient on the digital side of things, but yeah, it's a wonderful.
Yeah, there's the trees that have paid the price for having you on the coverage tonight. 10-point game. Ian Clark now out with 4 for Melbourne. So Harvey with problems for the Hawks. Clark for Melbourne. Offensive rebound, Bowen. Can't put it back in.
Here's a chance, Andrew.
Here's Lee for 3.
Yeah.
The margin that they've got up their sleeve.
Wallace Jr. had some work to do. Lee screams down the floor. Now Hickey drives, finds Froling. It was a 16-point lead for Melbourne. A couple of minutes gone in the third quarter. The Hawks are hanging in. Golding with a step back. Killer class.
Huge on 2 fronts. Huge because it gives them back their 10-point margin, but also for Chris Golding to see one go in as a goaltender. But Jack, cast your mind back, and my memory here, we have a look at Chris Golding's step back. That's a tough one, but there's a bit of a feel from this game like we saw a couple of seasons ago when they were up against the Jack Jumpers in that game 3 at home, seemingly with a margin for decent chunks of the game.
Lee, Robinson, Hickey, Clark, Froling on the floor for Illawarra.
They were booing J-Rob here in game 1. They were booing Matthew Dellavedova in Illawarra in game 2. So nice to see a little bit of sportsmanship from the faithful. I'll keep an eye on Gary Clark.
Must have done this. We tick down to 6 minutes left. Jay Hilly's had such a big night. Can't score that time though. Hickey will fancy his odds. Only Dellavedova up ahead.
You just feel like Melbourne United should be a lot further in front.
Says a lot about the Hawks though, doesn't it?
It does.
Yeah. Golding's pass was spot on.
In traffic also. Ooh.
Harvey out there with 4 fouls. Ian Clark chasing him around also has 4 fouls. Robinson drew a crowd. One young lead. Oh, should have shot it first time.
Definitely passed up the better option initially.
Golding will never hesitate. Big O board for Melbourne. Shot clock at 5. Dellavedova underneath for Golding, who threw it up with the left hand. The Hawks get a stop. Now they search for a score, but that's not going to help. Robinson's pass chopped off. Reset. Wallachul has the height advantage. And they swing to Clark, who's met with strong contact once more.
Oh, for sure. Love to see it. There was a slight disclaimer in his comments about how there's been a significant amount of inquiries.
No real surprise there, is there?
Not just from the NBL, I might add.
On cue.
And that is why. Even on one leg. Gets it back to 9.
Groan from the Melbourne fans. They know that this one...
And no one's comfortable, Jack.
Yep. Not done yet. 9 points tonight for Matthew Dellavedova. Hasn't quite had the same impact offensively. Great look for Kyle Bowen. They reload through Golding, who's guarded by Juan Jung Lee. Shooter v shooter. Super tough.
Particularly when you haven't had a great one. He was 1 of 7 from the 3-point line before that one. option there. Or
time for Gary Clark to get busy. Off down the three. The mid-range is off the back.
And a good possession here from Melbourne United. Direct this ball with purpose. Make sure you get a good look and really put pressure on Illawarra.
Out by 12. That might have just about sunk the boat. The Hawks live to fight another day, I should say. Here's Harvey off the window for two. Timeout, Melbourne. Thought about the review. Lead assistant Jacob Chance says don't burn it.
that's not a bad option either. Matthew Dellavedova, he's got the strength to deal with Clark.
Harvey unloads. Lawala keeps rolling off the glass. Overtime in game one. Overtime in game two. And again, we go down to the wire between these two. Dellavedova continues to make big plays in big moments.
Well, I think you can start lining up for some tickets for Sunday after that one.
The Hawks have got a problem now. They need points, and they need them quick. Froling forces his way in. He has been phenomenal.
They got to move up the floor.
You're right, 23.7 of 9 from the field. Sam Froling, he was fantastic during the regular season, but he's taken his game to another level in this semi-final series.
He's got his hands full here. Dellavedova has one thing in mind, and that wasn't it.
And a lot of misses.
Last time the Hawks made a championship series was 2016 and 17. And it looks as though they may just fall short. Blanchfield kicked it back out to no one. Wanjung Lee on a rescue mission. Wow, that was good.
True, it's a two-possession game. Oh, boy.
Dellavedova's got to get this thing in.
Oh, boy. Wow, they get bailed out.
They called a foul on Lee.
What would you like me to do standing here? Would you like me to reinvent the wheel?
Have a look at this inbounds. That was the left arm.
Hold on just a minute. Dellavedova scraps and wins it back. Illy in possession. Each night we will know who is contesting the championship series. Last roll of the dice. Tyler Harvey.
You got to get the ball in bounds.
4-point game. 8 seconds left. They get the ball in bounds. Forced to foul Golding. They've been the front runner all season long. They've been pushed all the way. But Melbourne United